happy about. I did not put too. I should have put that actually. I should have put the PlayStation 6 news. I'm sure we would got a ton of. No, Moscow Mule. All right. Well, that kind of devolved. I mean, we can't really see it. It's because of the lights. But here, this is what's in it. At pink. Look pink. I don't know what to say. Oh, that kind of comes up. He's got a point. He's got a point. I always hate that question. If I do something to break my game, then whatever happened, I guess it just. I don't have an Xbox 360 to forcefully break my game, so I'm good. Fuck. Hold on. I know something.
Yeah, you just cussed all on our G-rated stream.
Oh yeah, we're definitely have a G. Oh, this entire thing would have been just not hearing all.
Oh, the way he planned it.
So wait, do you have to stop the stream?
No, I was able to.
Oh, good, good.
Someone just needs to check it.
I hear Keith.
1 2 1 2
Joel
1
Santana.
2. Oh, you mean check the stream?
Yes, check the stream. I have to check the mic.
I heard everybody.
Okay.
Alexa, why don't you just talk in the chat? Why are you texting it to me?
Your Alexa text you?
Oh,
Yeah,
Alexa's
man,
texting me.
Can anyone
People
hear
like,
us outside
"Damn
your
it."
headphones?
No, Alexa's texting it to me.
Oh.
You must be in the stream.
People are like, man.
Is she right in front of you, just peering at the stream?
No, she.
Oh.
What? She's at work.
Is she watching the stream?
Yeah, she was watching it.
Oh.
She just don't want to talk in the chat.
Hello, Alexa.
Yep, she's not
Terry went
texting
say
it.
hi.
I wouldn't say hi. Oh, there you go.
No,
Oh, look at that.
What happened?
Just
I need to bring up the chat. I need to bring up the chat now. Need to interact.
you're not going to
with
see it
that.
now.
okay, Keith. I think we.
I think we're good. Yep. All the what is with that
Time
laugh?
management told me we got to get started. So as long as everyone's ready.
I did see it. Terry clearly says, I'm at work. Yes, I can hear y'all now. And hello, Gaines. Laugh emoji. Cry, cry.
All right.
You don't even understand technology, Terry.
I don't. It's fine.
My mod powers allows me to see all historical messages from other electronic devices that's not attached to the almost in full color name.
Don't worry, Roger. That phone hasn't rang yet.
Keith,
All right. Was it 16?
Evan
16?
does gotta fix that issue in the stream. leak all that Capital One information over the airways to all 3 people that's here.
All right. Well, everyone, including 3 people watching right now, welcome to the Almost in Full Color podcast number 16.
One of you will win a chance to have all your Capital One debt cleared by our very own Yellow Squirrel. That's the inside track. Sub now for your chance at debt-free life.
I should have put that in the title.
No.
Oh man, we would have got so much traffic.
Yeah, there's so much hate afterwards. Well, Roger would have got all the hate.
I would have worded it to the point of where it was just like, I don't know.
I have a basement for you to live in, Roger, after they sue you and steal all your worldly possessions.
I
Or breaking every contract you signed.
thought that's Tia's family's place is the basement.
Well, I mean, if you erase all my debt, it could be your place. So, yeah.
Well, I'm joined by the creators of this channel. As you have already heard, we have Yellow Squirrel with us, T the Best, and Plucka Plucka, along with myself.
Founders
Whatever
to
I go
creators.
by.
Your name's
Name
yourself.
Yeah, my name's myself.
Oh,
So-
from founders to creators.
I think that's kind of like on par.
I don't know.
Sounds like an on par.
This game is.
I don't
know
know.
what to do with my hands. What do I do with my hands? Ricky Bobby reference.
So as you all see, seems that everyone's doing good, doing great. Terry's drinking ginger beer. Yellow Squirrel's looking at his phone, very concerned.
Huh.
And Plucka Plucka doesn't know what to do with his hands. Gentlemen, are we all doing well?
You just said we're doing good, apparently.
All right, all right.
Amazing.
Terry wants to get right into it.
We're
So
on a time schedule here. Let's go.
the good people, or not so good people, depending on what side of the fence you are, from Epic has settled their Fortnite lawsuit. They have decided that if you are a minor and you bought a loot box from them around 2019 or 2018, 2019, if you bought a loot box or a loot llama, as it was called then, they will give you 1,000 V-Bucks in your account, about $8, I think is what they said it rounds out to. If you are an adult and you felt that these loot llamas affected your life negatively, you can file a claim. A third party will have to investigate. And if they rule in your favor, you can either get 13,500 V-Bucks or
Yeah.
$50. They said this will probably benefit or go back to about 6.5 million people that they expect to, I guess, come out and make a
Fake
claim.
currency through. Oh God, how will they ever survive?
So we've talked a lot about loot boxes on this channel, but this is kind of one of the first companies that's had to, I guess, pay it out. Is this enough? 1,000 V-Bucks or 13,500 for third party rules in your favor that these loot llamas negatively affected your life.
Well, I mean, as I just said, you're giving away freaking imaginary currency. So it really doesn't matter how much they give you because they're not actually giving you money. So it's like, okay, I spent all this money on loot llamas and I lost my damn house. Or I lost my car because I had a ridiculously addictive personality and just kept wanting whatever it was. And it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna reimburse you with well, what are they? V-Bucks. It's like
V-Bucks.
I can't pay my car note with V-Bucks. Like,
But you can look fly in Fortnite.
Yeah.
yeah, you can
Them
do that.
skins.
That's at least 13
All right.
skins you can buy
All right,
right there.
I'm gonna come over there and steal your car and destroy your house, and I'm gonna pay you in 2,000 Plucka bucks.
That's different.
I'm sure you'll
It's a
find
much
somebody.
drastic, different scenario.
I don't
It's
know.
not.
I think it sounds
If
right.
I opted into you stealing my car, that's different. I didn't opt into
No, Keith, you had a chance, and I did.
it.
You paid for a chance for me to steal your car, and congrats, you hit the jackpot. Turns out that that chance was pretty high on the probability table of me following through with that claim. But yeah, I mean, seems like a scumbag move to me. And honestly, it actually seems like a very weird way of actually like baiting the hook again for you to delve down that path. It's like if I was a crack dealer and you like got off crack and I was like, man, if you feel like my crack negatively impacted your why can I speak? Negatively impacted your life, I'm gonna give you more crack rocks. And that's your reward. Or I give you cocaine. I guess that would be the difference. Not as bad, but be a lesser tier drug as your reward. Feel like that's pretty much the same thing.
We do not condone any kind of drug taking of any sort of here. Just
Thank
feel
you,
like,
Zach.
The lesser tier drug.
feel like we gotta say that somewhere, just for anybody watching.
That's helping yourself to get off drugs.
Was there a reason they were like, because I still know some games do the loot box still. I know Europe was very big on like cracking down on that at one point.
Just said that they were embattled in a lawsuit, and this was the resolution of that
Okay.
lawsuit.
Because
So,
I know like
The class
Overwatch
action
still,
one.
like Overwatch still does them. Some other games still have them. Like I couldn't even remember Fortnite doing that. That was the weird part. Like I remember hearing the story and asked Terry, like, did they ever do loot box? I guess it was a short period, and maybe that was when we were on our off time. But yeah, it's weird. It's like you're getting some back because it depends how effective negatively. Because we have one friend that spent a lot of money on games before, and
Yeah.
like I could see someone spending like 4,000. It's like here's your $50 of V-Bucks back for the loot. Like seems weird. I guess you can get at least something for it, but yeah, it was just it's their currency, so it's like
That's,
that weird apology. Like I'm sorry, but here's something.
but that's what I mean. Like they're just baiting
Yeah.
the hook again. Like Madden Ultimate Team. Like say you paid a bunch of loot box to get like a chance at a special card. You paid a whole bunch of money, and EA was like, you know what? We feel like if that might have negatively impacted you, we're going to give you 10 free packs of MUT cards, which is Madden Ultimate Team. So I'm going to give you 10 free packs to open. It's like, that's just going to give you that same sensation all over again if you just kicked it and was like, you know what? I finally stopped buying those loot boxes. It's like, here, open 10 more random packs that you might get something good. And then you get something good, which who knows? Maybe they even up the chances a little bit for you to get something special, and then you're back in there.
well, it's a little different with Fortnite because the loot llamas are gone. You can't get them
Yeah.
anymore. So the V-Bucks,
Ah.
it's for, I mean, you can spend on the skins and the battle pass. So you kind of know what you're getting.
But
Very,
50
very,
bucks, it's
Yeah.
like if you did the big cross $50, I mean that's 2.5 skins. Like it's not
yeah.
really that much of a thing.
True.
So it still seems odd.
I mean, you're just gonna hook somebody back into it anyways. Now you can just, instead of buying your
Yeah.
loot boxes, just go buy 13 skins.
They'll bring back loot bushes. Next would be loot bushes, then loot trees, then loot shotguns. People shoot you, you either get stuff or you die.
That one's gonna be fun.
I've always felt that loot box, like it takes two to tango. No one put a gun in anyone's head and made them buy a loot box, but some people do have addictive personalities. There's some real egregious stories out there. The guy who spent like $20K on FIFA Ultimate Team, and it was like, yeah, that's really egregious, and it's like a red flag should have been thrown at headquarters. But like, if you could pitch $20K and just I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like,
Keith is our whole pick yourself up by your bootstraps guy.
at least, I mean, it's
Right.
your money. Like, if you're spending money on FIFA Ultimate Team and not paying rent, your priorities are fucked. Like, it's just
Wow.
So
you got to be able
Wow.
to sit there. They are.
Wow,
If it's like FIFA
Tell us
Ultimate
more,
Team
Keith.
or damn electricity that you need to actually pay for FIFA Ultimate Team, like, it's just like I don't necessarily get it. I think that there should be a limit to how many loot boxes someone could buy, but I mean, hey, if that's what you want to do, I'm not gonna stop you.
Keith has
So,
a very interesting stance here during this current climate.
I've always had this thing. It takes two to tango. I've always told people don't buy the loot boxes, and I'd always hoped that loot boxes would be taken out off of just devs putting too much into it. And people are like, yo, like focus on the game, like leave these loot boxes alone. But now they're being taken out because of the impact that's had on addictive personalities.
I would say I
Still
don't mind
glad
them
it's leaving, but also just the pretense it has to leave under kind of does suck a little bit because it's not gonna leave anytime soon. So I mean, off of that, they'll just find ways to nickel and dime and still do it, and people are still gonna continuously do it. So Hey, when they're on the streets, they'll learn.
Oh,
Jesus.
whoa!
Nah, I'm joking about that part, but
He's not.
kind of not. Like if you end up,
Damn.
Yeah, I'm
You need a-
kind of joking, but I'm
Well-
really not. I'm hoping that you
Well,
understand
we
this
just
one.
lost our whole
if you
homeless crowd.
need
Thanks a lot. now we
you
want
need
our
a financial
homeless
advisor,
crowd.
please just post in the comments. Terry will guide you on
I am not
how
a
to
financial
effectively
advisor.
buy loot crates and still live a normal life in which
I don't
you can buy those loot crates in peace.
I don't
All right.
do any of that.
Thank you,
So you
Terry,
don't-
for bringing
What?
ourselves back with the old dog petting there. Hey, get over here. Get over here. Sub dog. Yes. Pet
Oh,
the
he's
sub
just
dog.
looking.
If you sub, you might be able to pet the dog too. We'll send the dog to you in a box. A big box. Not
I
a
should.
small box. He'll be
With
No.
air
there.
holes in it.
Yeah, he'll be comfortable. He'll have some food in there.
I'll put some
Yeah,
channel
good for her.
points.
Only a
As
little
long
bit
as
of-
you continue watching, you can redeem 1,000 channel points at Pet the Dog.
Yeah. It's up to you to send him back at your own dime. Please
Aw.
send him back.
Oh
All right. Next
So-
topic. Keith.
my!
Death of Anthem. Anthem has officially been killed. It's done for. Now, we all probably saw this day coming. They kept telling us that they were going to keep developing for it, but kind of saw the writing on the wall, especially with the new Mass Effect Legendary Edition being worked on and all this. We knew something was going to give. However, this could have served as a teachable moment or just moment for other devs out there, things of that nature. As gamers, though, do you all appreciate failure? Like, do you feel like failure is something that is cool in this realm?
This whole
Yeah,
topic
Keith.
went completely different
Yeah.
than what I was
Whenever I set out on a goal, usually the end point is to get to that fail. Like that's what I know. But nah, honestly, I mean, everybody knew that sooner or later we're gonna stop developing for it. Like if you can't get the player base back to support all the resource hours you're putting into it, like it's only a matter of time before the publisher is gonna cut ties with it and say, well, obviously we're not gonna keep throwing money into this pit that's not ever gonna reap any benefits for us. And honestly, that might have been what kind of kicked off the Mass Effect Legendary Pack. They might have wanted to kind of recoup some of that lost money that they put into Anthem and realize obviously Mass Effect has a huge crowd and it's a big time game and bringing it back, I'm sure you're going to make some money. And I don't know how much effort went into maybe prettying it up and kind of bringing it up to speed, but that could have been kind of what brought that along. As far as I know, we were talking about it yesterday of like what really like made Anthem get received so terribly. Like everyone kind of just was like, and kicked it to the curb easily, even though games like Destiny also had like not the greatest launch and everyone kind of just really stuck with it and just plowed ahead and was like, we're going to keep playing this game, even though it's not what they promised. Obviously, a lot of the story was missing. A lot of content was missing, and they kind of, pieced it together as they went along. But I know Roger spoke, maybe it was more so because Bungie was behind it. So people just kind of wanted to stick with Bungie more, other than, I don't even know who made Anthem, to be honest.
BioWare.
BioWare. Okay. So maybe it was kind of one of those things where the publisher's name, had something to do with it as well. But to Keith's point, yeah, I mean, we all knew Anthem was going to die, so not shocked. And welcome back, Subdog.
Yeah. I was expecting Anthem to do better than what it did, but after you started playing it, you just kind of realized what it was. And it didn't seem like there was anything that could save it at the time. Granted, I don't know about the whole like scrapping the whole thing. They probably were hoping on the No Man's Sky way of, they revamped their entire game and look what happened. They revamped and they're in the green, I'm guessing, because I mean people
They're in a
still
good
kind of
place.
play it.
Yeah.
So it's like they were probably hoping on that aspect, but for whatever reason, maybe they just did enough research that it just wasn't going to happen.
Do you think it was because Destiny was already out and people realized that it was pretty much Destiny? And you're like, I already have a looter shooter game that I'm putting time into. I really don't need another Destiny slash Iron Man game.
I think
That's what I was gonna add to, because it seems like that's kind of the trend. Because I know me and Terry weren't big fans of Godfall, and it seems like a couple of the games you hear struggling is like trying to follow this looter shooter style. I really don't know any other ones that was successful other than Destiny, really. So it's wondering, like, it's games just getting too compared now. Like any game you pick up, I know we were playing the Outriders demo. We were immediately like, "Hey, this is like this, and this." So it's like that style seems like if it's not fleshed out like Destiny, it falls short really fast. And
Would
I'm
you consider
wondering,
Borderlands of that fruit or no?
yes.
yeah,
Borderlands is like kind of, I wouldn't say it's the godfather of looter shooters, but it's definitely like up there as far as like one of the best ones to get.
I would say the thing that probably helped Borderlands though is Borderlands is like more wild and crazy than Destiny.
True.
So it has almost like a Ratchet and Clank. Like you don't know what kind of gun you're going to freaking get. Like there's so many crazy guns. Destiny has a lot of guns, but you know there's not going to be anything too crazy. Like you know, for the most part, they're going to stick to a certain genre. Like you got your rocket launchers. They usually shoot rockets. You know, maybe spread a couple bombs, but it's not going to be anything crazy like Borderlands. Like who knows what the hell you could shoot out of a rocket launcher in Borderlands? It could be another smaller rocket launcher that explodes, like just to be funny. You know.
I would say Borderlands did its thing. Like if you get a Borderlands game, you know exactly what it's about. But it's like the games that come with it or the guns that come with it. Like for Destiny, it was all about gunplay. Like the gunplay was way different than pretty much any kind of game that we've had since then. And that was like the one thing that Destiny took from Borderlands and kind of increased up into like a better kind of game. Whereas Anthem, they were like, yeah, you can fly around. And it's like, okay, cool. And then you start flying around and you're just like, yo, this is okay, but it's not it. Like the gunplay behind Anthem wasn't that great, and then the whole aspect about it, just like the story system wasn't that great because everybody that's played Destiny has already been burned by a story. Like the beta, they essentially half the game for Destiny 1 as a beta. So it's like having Anthem come out and be like that, it's just like they had to kind of step it up and be something better. So
Well, I always enjoy good failure. Mainly just because I mean failure can teach you a lot of things. So I think if they allow it to be transformative, I think this will definitely work out well. I think a lot lately we've heard dev teams having issues halfway through development time, and it's like, oh, we had to scrap everything and restart. I don't know if that like it's so a common story now. I don't even know if that's just the play out of the playbook just to have fans not be so pissed when they get their final product. It's like, oh, we had to scrap halfway through because this guy left and he owned the rights to this stuff. So we had to chop some stuff up and figure out how we were going to repackage it to give it to you. And, you know, we worked 17-hour days. We didn't see our families for like 5 months. It was crazy. And then you kind of feel bad. And then you're like, well, all right, guys.
Like temporary game stuff forever.
yeah. I mean, it sucks, you know, you got that one guy that put all into the game and he leaves, but it's like, you shouldn't be putting everything on that one person then.
Yeah. So
it shouldn't be just on one person.
They might say that type of stuff now because it's probably stuff that always happened. But now since like obviously everyone seems to have a lot more like direct contact, so to speak, or at least it's a lot easier for the end consumer to really get their word out there, you know, get things trending. You know, you got your hashtags, you got Twitter and all that type of stuff. Like you can kind of really bash a game, you know, and affected sales. Otherwise, like, oh, well, you know, unlike back in the day where, yeah, you could tell your friends, but like, can't really get word of mouth around like you can now. So that might be why they come out more so now and kind of speak to like, hey, these things might happen, but look, this is what's happened. This is why it's happening. We're aware. We're going to fix it. You know, like, please don't bash our game. Like, it's going to be fixed. Don't not buy it, please. Like, give us a chance. So it could be something like that.
Yeah, and it sucks too when you end a game now because it's like, well, does the servers, how long are they up? Because now it's not like even like, I'm sure people like Anthem. There's always usually a community that likes pretty much any game. So it's like, Well, it sucks because they probably still play it, but now if there's like taking down the servers, you kind of lose your game now. So I know there's story mode. I don't know how integrated it is, but that kind of does suck on that aspect now. Where like if you just had a bad game, you could have had a bad game and played it later, or if you did like it, you wouldn't lose functionality.
Well, now that we've got through the bad, let's get to a glimpse of good. PlayStation had their state of play. I enjoyed it. Everyone else here enjoyed it.
Come
Of
on,
course you
Keith.
did.
Keith,
Some.
you enjoyed it for one reason. Come on, say. Just talk about the game you want to talk about inside of it. You don't want to talk about
Actually, the
thing.
game. So a lot of games look good. Deathloop looked good. Oddworld is probably not a game I would play, but it did look cool from what it was. Kingdom Bridge of Spirits looked
Yay.
outstanding. I was definitely yeah.
Outstanding. It was amazing.
That game looks great. And one thing about it I found out today was the game is actually going to be $40, $39.99.
Oh, okay.
Does that make you a little worried about the amount of content that the game will have, or do you kind of more so like that price point because you feel like it'll be kind of a short, sweet type ride?
It's an indie game, so yeah. I mean, indie games are generally like it's rare them companies do put out like a $60 game. I mean, a lot of the ones I play is usually 20, $30. So no, it probably could be a shorter game, but yeah, it's just kind of expected. Like I wasn't expecting a full price game when I first saw it at E3. It did look a lot more fleshed out than what it was with the new thing at State of Play. But yeah, 40 seemed on par for it.
Yeah, I definitely felt like the 40 was speaking to that. Probably not a ton of content, and it's I mean, maybe kind of similar to like Miles Morales was, where that was $50. So you kind of knew like probably not a whole bunch there, but I would say you're probably going to look at around, I don't know, maybe about 10, 16 hours worth of probably some gameplay. You know, nothing too crazy, but I mean that's
like
fine.
$60 game length though.
Some games. It doesn't seem like that is the standard for the PS5 games and a lot of these new generation games. It seems like most of them go a little further than 10 to 16. I can't think of any outside of Miles Morales that was shorter than that. Again, that was a $50 game, but so it could be a little shorter. It could be like maybe a 6 to 8 hour game, which would still be cool for $40. To me, it looks really good. I'm planning on getting it, so I wouldn't be let down if it was only like 6 to 8 hours of gameplay. And depending on how it sells, we might get some DLC. So that would be good, I guess, depending on how I feel after I play it.
From there,
what are your takes on it, Terry?
Sure.
Call on Terry. He was sleeping in class. Terry, what do you think about the chapter 7 in the book we're supposed to read yesterday? You read a book? Yeah.
From there, we got the Final Fantasy VII Remake announcement. Extra DLC that will feature Yuffie, which for all the fans of Yuffie, this is great news. And also for fans of Final Fantasy VII Remake, I don't know if this was. It kind of feels like something that they kind of already had in the works, but maybe not just ready to drop at launch. So they just put it out now, just to keep fans kind of tethered, because who knows when Remake Part 2 is going to come out. So I think it's just something to keep fans a little tethered right now. I wish they would say a little bit more if it will be like a yearly episode here and there that'll drop. But I guess we'll see from there. A lot of, I think there's a mobile game dropping as well for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I had an idea that they were going to try to milk this train for just everything that it had. Yeah, I feel like they're about to.
Mobile version for 15. Good God. Why do they keep doing this?
Yeah, I know once Final Fantasy VII got involved, they were going to do everything they could to wrench every penny out of this. So for me, it's to be expected, but other people, they may not have expected this too much. I don't know. PS5 upgrade for anyone who has a PS4 version, always nice. But I didn't even want to talk about the game per se, because something else kind of came along with it that I'm wondering about. So if you want to get the PS5 edition, now it comes with the DLC. It is $70. And I'm wondering, do you think inch by inch that $70 price tag is about to basically come up and just be commonplace? We seen them try it at first at launch and did not bode well, so it seemed that they backed off that $70 price tag. And now it just seems like a few more things are starting to have a $70 price tag on it at launch. So do you think they're trying to just ease people into it until they just accept it? Or
It's weird how sexual this conversation got, these inch by inches and easing this in and all this stuff. But anyway, I don't feel like they're going to try to make the game $70. The only reason I say that, and the next edition could be 70 because it's going to be probably a pure PS5 game. I doubt they support the PS4, especially since this part of the remake seems like they're trying to get people over to the PS5. Probably be better for them not to support the PS4 moving forward anyway. It would just allow them to kind of probably expand on the game even better and not really worry about having to dumb it down to make it work on the PS4. But I mean, for 70, you're getting a game we paid $60 for, and you're getting pretty much DLC along with it. DLC is usually going to run you about $20. Usually about $20 now. So you say if they broke the game down to about $50 and said, okay, we're $20 for the DLC, we're giving it all to you at once, $70. So that could be why it's $70, or like it could just be slowly getting us there to be like, hey, well, the next edition is going to be $70. I do know that Final Fantasy VII, the remake, is free for, I think it's on PS Plus right now.
Mm-hmm.
March.
The regular one.
Tuesday it comes out.
Tuesday. Okay, so the regular version, the PS4 version, is free for March. But I know they said that they are not giving the free upgrade to that version.
Nope.
You had to have purchased it. So you won't get the DLC. I guess you have to pay 70, the full 70 if you want the upgraded version to the free version instead of just the 20 or so.
Well, that's smart on their end. You can play the game, and if you want to get the DLC, well, now you have to fork up 70. And if you played Final Fantasy VII, you probably would pay 70 because it's a really good game. But
so
I think...
Wait, what?
What?
You say Final Fantasy VII was a really good game?
Yeah.
He
Rush
felt to
on
have a heart
touch.
attack.
But continue.
He felt to have a heart attack.
But no, I think the 70 price tag is probably going to stay around. Like you said, they kind of teased it at the beginning of the console releases, and I think it's just slowly going to hit. The games are getting way more graphical, and it's time for basically a price jump.
We always get them. But I have two questions. One for the group, one just for Keith. Now for the group. When they were showing the PS4 and PS5 like transitions of Final Fantasy VII, was it just me or was the majority of them? I was like, "Why are you showing this?" Because I'm really straining right now to see the difference.
So there was two.
It wasn't just me.
There's two spots that changed. I think it was when
they
were looking.
There was a couple exactly.
They looked up in the sky, and there was an extra beam on one side instead of the other one. I thought that was great. And then I can't remember the second one. I can't remember the second one.
When you're like leaving, spoilers, when you're leaving Midgar, the vast background was a little bit more detailed than the PS4 version. I was just like,
and the lighting in the sky was better.
I'm about to say, I think that's the differences you could tell nowadays. It's just like draw distance. So like I know in Spider-Man, it was kind of hard a little bit. But like that was a good game to show like how well buildings look far away and the amount. Lighting always sticks up, and then the minor details seems to be like the big separators now. Like again, I'll pick on Spider-Man, like the fur coat. Like you can always tell stuff with that. But overall, it's like for me on a lot of games they compare, it's usually kind of hard until they show like lighting and draw distance.
Yeah, so that was weird to me. And honestly, I was like, you probably shouldn't have showed the comparison. Should have just showed this is the PS5 version and how it looks, and we probably would have forgot that the PS4 version looked really, really good too, and it wasn't a big jump. probably would have got a better pop out of just leaving the PS4
Show the
version out.
PS1 version and then the
Oh
PS5.
yeah, look at that jump. Last
still
question, and this question is only for Keith. So Keith, after you watched the State of Play and you seen the remake for Final Fantasy VII and the Yuffie edition, when everyone went to sleep in the house, did you dim the lights? Did you take your phone in the bathroom, run your hot bath, bubble it up nice, light you some candles, just slowly ease into your steamy hot tub, just rewatch it by yourself?
James, this is very descriptive. Are
This
you
is-
trying to tell us something, man?
That's what he did when the Final Fantasy VII remake was first announced. So I didn't know if he like came back in for the remake.
No, Keith freaking sat in this chair. He was like, "No, that's not."
He was
Wait, it
disappointed.
is.
He watched it around.
No,
us.
it's not. It's not. And he was like, "It is. Oh my god, it is." It was great.
One of them best gaming history days I've ever had.
And
And
his
I wasn't
shirt
playing
popped off
anything.
like in Food Wars.
And I left after watching that. Good now.
Yeah,
The
'cause I
only
was
good
dancing
thing I
back.
will say about what they showed was the load times. I think the load
The load
time was
times
the
was
only thing that they showed that I was like, okay, that was worth showing. But outside of that, nah, you should just
Yeah,
left the
yeah.
rest alone. It just
It's not like it
was
looked
not it.
terrible on PlayStation 4. It was like fine. Besides, sometimes you have those little frame
and I think
drops.
the only thing I would have well, I don't know if anyone even thought of it. Well, did they show? I don't think there was much combat comparison, and
They
that may
showed,
be
like,
the
a
only
couple,
space that
like, 2
you
or
could
3.
have really
They
made
kinda
it look better.
They kind of just touched that it's going to be 60 FPS this time
Yeah,
around.
Yeah.
I think that's
So-
the only thing that they could have done that would have made it seem like, oh, okay, it looks a lot more fluid and all that. But yeah,
That
the
probably will help
game,
the battle system a lot, though. Not that it was bad on PS4,
oh
but
yeah,
I mean, to really have it smooth like that, you'll probably really feel like there's no pauses, really. I kind of feel like it's a really, not really interactive, not the word I'm looking for, but there's no
fluid.
sequence breaks. Fluid,
Yeah.
fluid. Yeah.
Now on to Terry. Well,
Ah.
Terry, lead us off into this Pokemon
nothing.
event
No.
that happened.
Continue, Keith. Continue. I'll
Well, I
let
didn't
you
see the
handle
first
that.
game that was, or you said that they're redoing Gen 4?
Yep. Yeah. So it's now they're redoing Gen 4 using the team that made Near Ultima and one of the Dragon Quest games. I think it was Dragon Quest 11, maybe. So they've redone those. The art style is chibi. I don't know why they just didn't upgrade it like how they did from Ruby and Sapphire to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. There's that. The whole Gen 4 remake everybody kind of have known for the past 6 months, but it hasn't been confirmed until today. So that's a good one for me. I'll take that one. Gen 4 is a
I just realized Terry likes games that they just keep remaking and going. You got Kingdom Hearts, Pokemon.
Gen 4 has been everybody's been asking for Gen 4 to be remade for a long time now. It's pretty much one of the best games, I would say. But the one that they showed after that is pretty much the better one, I would think, except for it's not being released until next year.
So about that, what do you feel like makes that? For those who don't know, that's Pokemon
I
Keith
think
also
Arceus.
said no.
Arceus. I feel like I'm just
Arceus
messing up the
Legend.
name really bad. What's the name of that? Arceus, Acreus?
It's Arceus
Oh.
Legend.
Arceus. Jesus. Pokemon Arceus. What makes that open world environment so much better than that of like Pokemon Snap?
Because you just said it. It's an open world. It's our first open world. Why you said Pokemon Snap? I have no idea. But this is
Thought
our
that joke would have went over a little better. Back to the drawing board, my jokes.
Yeah, go back. But this is our first like open world kind of game. Yes, okay, we did have overworld as far as like Sword and Shield and then Let's Go. But this is the first time we've actually had a full open world kind of Pokemon game. Granted, it's not the MMO that everybody's asking for, but it's at least a step in the right direction. So
it's breaking you out of the basically linear approach of you start at this gym, you end at this gym.
yeah, so
And there's a little variation in there if you can go to one gym before another, but there's not too much deviation from, the path.
yeah, so for this one completely, at least for right now, from what we've seen, it breaks the mode entirely. because instead of us trying to build out the Pokedex, now we're the ones creating the Pokedex.
Now the Pokedex builds you.
Yeah, so and I'm guessing that whatever the based off this generation, I'm guessing all the Pokemon that we can catch are going to be actually in one single game. It doesn't seem like they announced the second one.
Okay.
So hopefully, at least for whatever up until that point, we have at least all the Pokemon in it. Unless they're like, oh yeah, and here's whatever part 2 of Arceus is. I don't know, maybe a Giratina. But at least this time, everything's open world. You're discovering all the Pokemon in that region, and everything's seamless. If you run into a Pokemon, apparently the battle system is just straight into a battle. Instead of how it is now, where you have like, oh, you ran into a Pokemon. Here's a second to load it, and then there you go. Instead, this one, run into a Pokemon, you're automatically in a battle. Or you can throw Pokeballs to anybody that you just see on the overworld at any point in time. So
you can do what now?
So if you run into a Pokemon and you just see like some just running around in the grass, you can automatically just throw the Pokeball right there and then. And if it will catch it, it'll catch it. If not, it'll start the whole battle sequence, but it'll be seamless, as if everything is just happening.
Okay.
So I just don't think it's going to work well on the current Switch. I think there's going to.
It's probably going to. Yeah, it's probably going to be for the next Switch. Be nice if it's like a launch title, but I doubt it.
It's said early 22, so it's not the
early 2022.
Yeah,
they're talking about the Switch is coming out like this year.
Well, I mean, if it comes out this year, that'll be dope too. But
yeah.
This is the first time we've ever had a Pokemon game not in the holiday cycle.
You think it was because of the we have that Temtem game coming out and some other monster catching games coming out that's doing kind of good success? I think that kind of ran this a little more.
It might have, but the thing that separates those is just that those are MMOs.
Yeah,
but
it seems like it's making the toe now. It's like, okay, they're seeing some success with them other games.
They're pretty much. I think they're seeing their player base dwindle, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. There is no like monster catching game out there that can probably take away Pokemon. Right? It's Pokemon. Everybody can tell you a Pokemon. You ask around about Temtem, it's like, what is that? Or what's the one that you were playing the other day, games, or a couple weeks ago?
Nexomon Extinction.
Yeah, so it's like
right there.
You still kind of know what Pokemon is, and you're always going to know what Pokemon is. But when you start hearing these other ones, none of them have really come out to be like, we're going to dethrone Pokemon. They've tried a little bit, but it's still Pokemon.
Okay.
I feel like none of them have really tried to take over Pokemon, but just try to get into that, just catch the money that falls off the Pokemon train, if you will. Just the same way I feel like a lot of games are now trying to catch the Destiny money that's falling off the Destiny train. Just whatever money is, lost by them, they try to stay in that lane and close enough, but separate enough to where they're their own thing. But they're just trying to capitalize on pretty much what they've already laid out with the blueprint.
It's possible. I mean, it definitely does seem like
whatever's left from the train. They're not really part of the train. Just I
think they're trying to innovate.
Up for the test of that.
I definitely think that. Oh my god!
I was watching Keith's face the whole time because I was like, Keith's like, oh no. He's not. Oh no, he is.
I do think that they did take some elements though from like Nexomon and Temtem. At least it looks like it, because it looks like they took the stamina bar from Temtem. At least,
yeah, I don't see him as.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think they're trying to adapt that, but it's hard to tell based off of what we saw, because it looks like that's just an early alpha.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't think they're scared of them, but I think they are seeing like draws of like, seems like people kind of like this. Like, again, the Temtem's MMO. I mean, that's the only reason I know we were looking at it, was just that factor. But I was wondering, it hopefully will create a little more where they will start expanding Pokemon away from the, here's 8 gyms, go do this. All right, we'll do it next gen with more Pokemon.
You give it to them though. Being able to put a Pokemon game out every single year is still, they're still going with that.
The formula works.
Yeah.
So with it being open world, most open world games have kind of a lot going on in a sense. for you personally, could this come out with the same Pokemon formula of it's just open world, so you can hit the gyms pretty much however you go about it and just keep the same Pokemon formula? Or do you feel like there needs to be a little bit more, whether it's, customizing your bike or something to that, or customizing your own Pokeballs, but you got to like find materials to like customize your own stuff and things of that nature? Or should it just have the same Pokemon elements and not really go into the nuanced things like
I feel like
picking a specialist, or you could be like a Pokemon breeder, and that allows your Pokemon to like get more health or something if you choose like the path of the breeder trainer or whatever.
I feel like they have no choice but to innovate at this point. Like, of course, the formula works. I mean, they still every single year since, let's say, the DS version, they've been like almost doubling their sales, except for maybe about recently. Probably the only chance it hasn't, but they have no choice at this point. They've been doing the same thing for 25 years. It works, but
obviously you just said they double their sales every.
well, I mean, of course. I mean, if you think about it, the DS into the Switch.
Now, guys,
But I think they do need to
a wall of money.
There's more money to get gained.
There's more money to get. Yeah, I mean, you have we played the original games, right? All of us here have played the original. So ever since then, they've just constantly have changed small things about it to make it better. This is a huger leap than before, at least. But,
yeah, no. From what you say, it's definitely a bigger jump than they're normally taking. I mean,
I
jumps
hope
usually are very minuscule.
Yeah, like, oh, you can have 2 bikes instead of the last time you just had 1, and it's just like small things like that. You can't really do you can't really do those small changes anymore. Like for us, like Let's Go. The great thing about Let's Go was the overworld sprites and that you can tell if something was shiny. Sword and Shield, they took that away for whatever reason. You have an overworld, but you took away the sprites of it. I don't know. I still
say the catch mechanic was amazing on Let's Go. They should have just added in battles, and then when you went to catch it, it went into that, and it gave you an indicator of that green, yellow, orange, red to let you know, like, did you damage or status ailment this enough to get it to where you felt comfortable to throw that type of ball? Like, you like, oh, damn, I got it on red and it's paralyzed, but a Pokeball is still orange. I'm not going to catch it with a Pokeball. Let me just use a Great Ball. Oh, it's yellow. That's good enough for me. Like, I don't want to waste the Ultra Ball. We'll probably catch it with yellow. I felt that was really cool, even though you didn't get to fight in Let's Go. And that was really the biggest thing I was kind of sad didn't carry over outside of, seeing Pokemon in the overworld on Sword and Shield. And like you said, for whatever reason, they didn't do it. I don't know what the reason was, but hopefully that makes it, into the next Pokemon game. That's not Arceus.
So I'm not the only one.
So it's not. So the overworld thing is in Arceus, but it's not in the Gen 4 remakes. The Gen 4 remakes is just like your normal Pokemon game, except for it's like HD, and for whatever reason they kept the same sprites that they had in Gen 4 in this one. Why? I don't know. Yeah, they made them HD, and it's just like now you can actually tell that they had that super chibi style in the DS version, and they didn't decide to upgrade it to this one. Why? I don't know. But at least if they can innovate this one and make it a little bit better than it was before, I mean, it's a huge leap from already. It's open world. Like, that's crazy enough as it is. So we'll see how it works.
Do you have any more closing thoughts about Pokemon, or?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about Pokemon Snap?
Nah, I'm good on Pokemon Snap. That was for comedic purposes only.
Oh, Roger has played the game of Pokemon Snap tremendously, and you don't want to listen to his thoughts?
Oh, Roger, you love Pokemon Snap? I didn't know Roger played Pokemon Snap like that.
I played it a couple months ago to try it again, and then realized. Yeah.
On stream. You were streaming it for a couple of days.
Then I learned I should have kept it as a memory, and I had pulled it out a couple months ago.
Or you don't want to talk about the Pokemon Battle Royale, or is it MOBA? Talk about that one.
Yeah, then. I mean, if you want to talk about it, feel free. But I didn't watch that one. That one is.
Let us continue.
I stopped at Arceus. But for now, we move on to the best segment of the podcast, the one that has no name. Gentlemen, what game would you like to recommend to the populace at this moment in time?
I'm taking my game. I'm taking Outriders. Outriders is mine.
The demo?
Yeah.
Or the game itself?
The game
okay.
itself.
I was saying
no.
The game itself. Okay. Good to you.
Surprised Terry didn't pick Bravely Default.
Which was the last time. I haven't played it just yet. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But yes, Outriders. All I got.
Outriders actually comes out on April 1st, but you can download the demo now.
Exactly. And it's great.
That's the worst date to launch a game, April 1st.
Mm.
Being moved immediately.
That'd be hilarious if we ever were to see something like that. I'd have no choice but to laugh. Like, I couldn't even be mad.
What you call it? But
No, you got it.
the game I was going to recommend you play, well, not you in particular, but you who are listening to us right now, whoever you are, probably nobody, but Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition on the Switch. I'm playing that. If you play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and didn't play the first one, like myself, it's definitely is a really good game so far. I mean, it has the same principles as Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Obviously, it's going to be a really good story. I feel like part 2 had a good story, and so far it seems like part 1 is kind of following in that path as well. Or I guess part 2, well, no. If you play the games, you realize neither one of those scenarios are correct. But yeah, it's a really good game, and I'm enjoying it so far. And probably after I finish it, I might do a little video on it, kind of comparing the two and put some thoughts out there. But Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, you can get it on eBay or Mercari for like $28-$30, like brand new in the wrapper for whatever reason. I don't know, but it's way cheaper than it is in GameStop or anywhere else by like $20. So yeah, do it.
All right. I'll recommend this older game that I've been playing, Yakuza 0. I never really got into the series. I always wanted to play them. I tried to play it like a couple months ago, and for some reason, I guess watching a bunch of videos that day, I didn't feel like doing. So I didn't really get into it, but I started actually playing it, and it's really good. It's got a pretty good story. I like the main story. It is very wacky once you get into stuff. There's a lot of weird things that happens, of course. But yeah, overall, it's been quite entertaining, and I've been enjoying it. I'm about 70 or 60% through the game, and still have a lot to do.
Yep, and Roger sings karaoke along with the main character, by the way. So if you go to his Twitch channel, Roger, plug your Twitch channel.
Fun.
No?
What, Yellow Squirrel?
Yeah, there you go. Go watch Roger do karaoke. He does it all the time.
I don't know any of the songs, but okay.
Well, mine will be the free game of the month on PlayStation Plus, which will be Final Fantasy VII Remake. Also, if you just have a PS4, or not, if you have a PS4, you can grab it as well. I think it's one of the greatest games I've ever played. So that's that. I feel like, you can always mess up a remake. It's very easy. You don't do enough. People are pissed because you just slap some paint on an old thing and put it back out, and you didn't do anything with it. You do too much, then you were doing too much and you messed up a classic. So I think they found a pretty good middle ground to not only put out something that was an ode to the original, but also had some fresh takes on things and didn't go too far and kept people intrigued for what's to come next. Final Fantasy VII Remake, free on PlayStation if you have a PS Plus or pay for it.
Is that an ad?
It could be.
I'm gonna say you should market Ratchet and Clank free for everyone.
Ratchet and Clank free for everyone. It's part of the Sony's Play at Home initiative. Feel free to grab that as well to make sure you stay home and stay safe and have fun at the same time.
Where else would you play PlayStation?
I don't know, but that's
a very weird initiative.
I don't know, but
I can't play PlayStation on the train anymore like I used to, I guess.
Well, that's going to do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that subscription button and notification button to keep up with the next podcast. And pretty soon we'll have some thoughts about E3 and things of that nature and if it will live past this year. Well, peace, be easy, be blessed.
No,